hello. And again, we are back. Oops, yeah. So, happy new day to everybody. And we are back with this amazing tutorial. Like, we are comparing four different languages. Actually, five because C and C are not very different. And to see the first part, you should check out the previous live. You'll get that in my channel. And we discussed some amazing things and basics of programming yesterday, like elements and statements. What is the difference between them? What are each of them? We saw the variables, like they are just storing, like boxes which store values for us. We saw. Sorry about that. Yeah. So we saw operators. Uh, we saw basically three very common types of operators: arithmetic, relational, and logical operators. Well, I didn't rename them. Logical operators. Okay. And I don't know why that's all caps, but okay, that's the way it is. Anyways, so today we are gonna be seeing the most amazing thing in programming, actually most amazing thing, the basics of programming, that is branching of the code and repeating of the code. And hopefully we'll try making some patterns in the last. And okay, let's get started. So yesterday I actually told you that we have, for branching, we have if else statement. Okay, so we have other statements as well, but for the sake of you know keeping Python to the similarities, you know because Python only have if else statement, and it doesn't have other statements like switch case and well, ternary operator. So we won't be seeing that, but it's general to other languages. Okay, so yeah, you might want to check, or I might tell you that. I don't know, I haven't planned anything. So yeah, let's check. So if the statements inside the bracket, uh, if this expression I'm sorry, if this expression returns true value, so the block after if statement will run. It's as simple as that. So it's just English, like saying if this is true, then execute this. And we can just chain it, else, oops, else console.log, it is not true, it is not true. Okay, so we can run this statement, and hopefully we can see it is not true, right? We can see that it is not true, which means, and you can see that 67 did not run. But we, if we change the statement, like we can say this, if 57 is 50 is less than 89, then else statement won't run and 67 will be printed. Okay, so we can add multiple conditions, and we'll see that in just a bit. Actually, let's just see it. We can just chain it, else if, and again we can you know tell some condition, like if 4 is even. Okay, so what's this saying is, if we divide 4 on 2, and if the remainder, if you remember the arithmetic operations, modulus operators returns the remainder. So if the remainder is true, or in other words, if 4 is even, then we can just simply console dot log 4 is even. Now, do you think this will be executed? Do you think this will be executed? Let's just check, because we all know that 4 is even, right? We all know that, right? Because if we remove here and I mean come here and console dot log. Without the if else block, we just simply say this thing, and if we run it, so we can say that it is in fact true, but then also this does not run. Why? 4 is even is not printed. That's because when we are chaining if else statement, like if else if else if else if, then the moment one condition becomes true, all other chained statements will be false by default. Okay, so it doesn't care that the next statements are true or not, it won't run. And if I just make this false, you can see that this won't be executed, but this will be executed. And in similar way, if we can chain a number of else if statements, okay, so yeah, we can just simply say 1 because that's always true, right? Console.log, it is true. Okay, and you can see that this will be run, but this won't be. And if I just say that not equal to 0, like 4 is odd, this is just saying. So come on, run, come on, man. Yeah, it is true. So yeah, 1 is in fact true because we all know that 0 is false, other than everything is true, right? So yeah, that's else if. And we have to remember that if we are chaining else if statements, so the moment one statements become true, other all the statements below it will automatically be discarded from the that won't be executed basically. Okay, so yeah, that's one. So what if we want to check multiple conditions, and we want to I don't know, write execute something, or based on various condition, like we can do one thing, like we can chain condition like or and, like we can do multiple conditions, like if this is this or 1, that's basically saying, well, it should work, right? We can say that, right? It prints out 67 logical operators. But what I'm saying that if different code we want to run, so we can simply remove this else. We can uh, just write if. Now this if is alone, it doesn't have any else attached to it or any else if attached to it. Okay, we can chain only if, and those both conditions are optional, those both statements are optional. If can exist on its own, and now if we run this, we'll get both 67 and 4 is even printed. Okay, so now this block of code is not connected to this block of code. So if can exist alone, but actually else cannot exist alone, because else basically means if not that then this, right? So if cannot if can exist alone, but else if cannot exist alone. And that's all about basically branching. Okay, once the condition is met, all of the code uh, except that condition will be discarded from executing, or however you want to say that. So there is some syntactical error, changes in other languages. Actually in Java and C this is exactly same. Okay, and Python we have something different, and it's loading. So let's see if others are okay. C is loaded, so let's just try it here. So, and if we copy this code, actually console.log won't work in C, so we can just say, you can just remove console.logs everywhere. Actually let's try something like, I don't know if it okay, so we can simply say console.log, replace it with print f. Let's replace this. Okay, so this all will work. We have to give a semicolon obviously, and this should not work because this is a rule in C. We have to give %d, or we can simply would have said enclosed it in string actually. Yeah, this would work. Okay, so printf can automatically print, you know, string, but it cannot print. Want to learn C? That's one thing you wanna keep in mind. So yeah, let's try and run it. Hopefully we'll get the same. Yeah, actually we have to give an \n to declare a new line here. That's the, you know, that's all about branching. That's all about branching. All right. We remove this and we can say this. All right, we have to give well, semicolon here, and we can simply replace console.log with system.out.println, and yeah, it should work. Well, and I don't think it should work actually. This is an error. Yeah, it will give an error because Java has something called, Java is strongly typed language, and that we'll see by the end of this video when I discuss the differences in them. But simply put, Java cannot take that one is true, simply convert that in boolean. Okay, so we have to type here true. That should remove the error. And now we have 67 and 4 is even. Okay, so you have to keep that in mind while you're running Java. Convert 1 to true or 0 to false. Okay, that's the one thing to keep in mind. Now in Python we have something different. You might have noticed this. I had something like this. I had some spaces which it called indentation error, right? You might have noticed this. Yeah, indentation error. So Python basically does not have this curly braces. Okay, it does not declares a block using this curly braces. Python declares a block in that indentation. If the spaces between behind all the statements are exactly the same, then that is a block. Okay, let me show you what I mean. So if what you say, if true, actually capital T, true, then we give a colon. Okay, and we press enter. We have some spaces. Okay, so that's indented. If we give just say print hello, hello, and just print it, wait, yeah, it should print hello, like so yeah, obviously true won't justify it. Let's try with false. So if we try with false, we should not get, right, we don't get any. Let's actually give here print and let's just copy this and let's just paste that in between, and let's run it, and we should not see anything behind below that statement, right? So yeah, you know that. And if I just, let's say, remove the spaces, all right, I remove the indentation. Now it's giving a red error. I don't know if it will run. Okay, it won't run. But if I, let's just say, print nothing. Okay, nothing, I'll just call that, and you should see that hello is printed no matter what, because this is in the same as if, and it is not inside that if block. Okay, this is just a language specific thing, but you have to understand, if you want to learn Python, Python does not declare block as curly braces. It declares block as the space behind the at the starting of the statement. Okay, it defines the block like that. And if I want to add multiple statements in if, I have to say print, like I have to maintain the same block, and if I want to add if inside if, like we can have that. Okay, we can have like if another condition. All right, actually let's just indent, and this, the block of that if should be indented one block more. Okay, basically that. All right, so that is if. And like other languages, we have else as well. We have else, but we don't have else if here. Okay, print not here, I don't know why, but let's just. And if we say false, as you might have guessed, it's not inside, it won't be entering this block, hence this if code, even if it is true, it won't be executed, right? So it will simply go to else. Here except else if, I don't know what that word is. Okay, we have elif. All right, elif simply means elif, else if, I guess short form of else if, they merged it and said elif. So 67 is greater than 90, print I work. Actually let's just make it to some working condition to check, and I work. Okay, so elif is simply the replacement for else if from other languages. Okay, and this is how the syntax work here, and that's the branching. All right, so let's just jump straight into repetition, and I guess that would be it. Okay, we'll make some cool patterns, and we'll just, I don't know if live is working. Please tell me it's working. Hey, study monk. Haha. I didn't see you there. Alright. I'm sorry. My live, I don't know, it got freeze, I guess. If you're still there, hello. And if you're not there, well, I'll just thank you in DM, I guess. So, yeah. Where was I? Yeah, repetition, right? So, repetition is like the name suggests, we want to repeat one thing several times. So, we have three things, okay, three loops in most of the languages. While, all right, then we have do while, and we have for. All right, these are three loops which we have, and I guess we'll discuss all of them. All right, so what this does is, it's, look, programming is exactly like English. Okay, so this is just saying while some condition, whenever you see these brackets, right, you should assume that this is for some conditions. All right, so while, let's just remove, actually give something, oh, it's JavaScript, sorry, var, while var, oh sorry, while x is var x is equal to 0. Okay, so while x is less than 10, I'll just say console.log I am less than 10, and let's just print x. I am, and let's just print x. Okay, and but we need something to, yeah, break this loop, right? Because if we do not break this loop, this will be keep on going, like x is always 0, like x is always less than 10, so it will be always true. So let's just quickly increment this, or say x plus 1. Alright, so this is just saying that x is incrementing 1 every time it the loop runs. Let's just see in an action. And alright, so I am 0 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. Alright, so it goes from 0, the starting point of x, and goes till 9 and then breaks. Alright, and from where this 10 come from, I don't know. I really don't know from where did this come from. Alright, no issues. We'll see that. I guess we can actually do something cool. You know what? I can actually open my console here, the dev console we have here. I can actually open this, and I can actually run the code here. Alright, so it has returned 10. Okay, so this is JavaScript console. Basically we can run JavaScript in our browser, as you know. So it's not node environment, it's browser environment. Like we have here node, wait, let me just clear this. Like we have here node, right, and this is browser environment. Okay, the browser is executing the JavaScript code. Alright, and this is really cool. So what this code means, so while x is less than 10, do this, but we need to let's just comment this out and try to run this. Okay, it will keep on going. I have to stop this. It will keep on going, and we have to stop this because it will go crazy. You seeing this? It will go crazy, right? And every time it's 0, x is 0. So we need a variable to control this loop. Otherwise we would have simply just said while true. Alright, so yeah, that's not cool. And actually we'll see something other than like we can also say there's a statement like called as break. Okay, we can also say that if x is greater than 10, then we just want to break. Alright, and we can run this and check this out. Oh wait, let's just wait, what happened? Oh, x is not incrementing, man. Alright, we can't do that. Okay, we can't break. We can on condition we can't break. We can just simply say here break, and I'll show you why. That should run. It should run. Oh wait, it's not running. Wait, I'll just clear this out. I'll run this, and yeah, it just prints one time. Okay, so break statement breaks the loop. Last time why it didn't break the loop? Because x was never greater than 0, like greater than 10, right? We are not incrementing x. So the best way to do it is incrementing x. And there's a neat way, like I didn't show you this. So for x plus 1, we can write this like equal to 1. Okay, so this is just saying take the same variable here and add with this, and we can do all the operations on it. Like we can subtract also, we can multiply also. I'm not gonna show this to you, but yeah, you can do that in the same way. Alright, so that's just a quick way of saying that. But for incrementing just 1, we have another neat way of doing it. we just put double plus, and that just means we want to increment our variable by 1. All right, so let's just try this, and it should work, and it did work. So yeah, that's all right. That's just while loop, and you should just read it like English, that it's dependent on the variable, and while this condition is true, execute all this. All right, all right. Now do while. Do is something different. Okay, so we can copy this, we can paste here, and we can just simply say that var y equals 0. Okay, we have to use it different because we have while wait is less than, greater than, less than, while y is less than, y is not greater than. We have to give a actually in JavaScript it doesn't make any sense, so yeah, let's ignore that. And yeah, please notice that we don't give semicolon here, that's just wrong, and we don't give semicolon after any condition in if or while or anything, but in do while you can give condition here. Okay, basically we don't give condition before the starting of the block. Okay, that's just rule of thumb, I guess. Anyways, where were we? Yeah, so do while is something different, as you might have guessed or noticed here. Like, wait, you're printing every time 10 because the new value of x is 10, because that's how it breaks the loop. It broke the loop. Yeah, and we need to print y, and the moment we do that and we run that, we'll get again the same 0 1 2 through 9, through everything and till 9, right? So what do while is, well, in simple terms, do while is just opposite. It will run the code first, and it's it checks the condition afterwards. Okay, so even if the condition goes false, like we say this, so we know that the condition is false, right? We have to yeah, so it will run once. Okay, even if the condition is false, it will run once because it runs the code first, then checks the condition. So yeah, do while is that. All right, so do while is simply checks the condition first, and um, checks the condition after running the code, right? And there are some use cases of this. All right, I don't know, are you mocking about this? I don't get the context, Vaishnavi. Alright, so next is for loop. Okay, and this is the loop I use the most. Okay, here inside only we declare the variable, we check the condition, and we increment or do the update the variable, the counter variable which controls the loop. So we do something like this: var z equals 0. All right, and while z is less than 20, let's do this time 20, we say z plus equals 2. All right, and let's just say console.log. All right, let's just paste it here, less than 20, and let's just say z. All right, so let's run it, and yeah, there we have it. So it ran from 0, I guess, yeah, it's 20, from 0 to 18, and the moment it became 20, it breaks the loop. So the for loop is same, exactly the same. The way of writing is only different. Like there are three statements inside this. uh, yeah, no, it's okay. I'm just kidding, sorry. Chill out, Vash, chill out. Yeah, where was I? So yeah, inside only inside the for loop only we gave we declare the variable, the counter variable for the loop. We check the condition and we update the variable. So that's why everything at once, everything at the single place. I love for loop. Okay, for this reason only. And this thing, all these three works exactly the same way as in C and Java. We'll see that in a minute. Yeah, let's just copy this, man. Let's just copy this and let's try it running it in Java. I have to remove actually I have to remove this as well. I have to say int, and I have to internal error, what, int. All right, I have to remove all the console logs to system.out. Actually, you know what, let's just do this all way. And yeah, all right, and we have to give a semicolon here because without semicolon it won't run, right? So yeah, in Java it became necessary to give a semicolon after while loop. In JavaScript it's not necessary to give semicolons. That's why proud I'm watching. Yeah, okay, thank you. See, you can go and sleep, or wait for me to come. Why it's giving so many errors, man? Internal and int. Why it's giving so many errors? Do we have x before? Yeah, we do have x before. All right. Printing int. Oh, all right. We can't print int like that, right? It's Java, not JavaScript. You have to change some syntax to make it work. Yeah, thoda trouble breathing. It's cool. No issues. You know what? Since we have already int, all are int, and this one is double, right? So we can simply change x1, and here also x1, 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 y1, 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 z1, 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 and at the last z1. Let's just try running, and it should work. Yeah, it did. All right, now we have to give a space, because in JavaScript when we added comma and added the variable, it automatically gave space, but here it's not that case, so we do need to give space, right? And there it is. We have the same result as that. The concept is exactly same. I was gonna say almost, but yeah, the concept is exactly same. And we can simply put here this one. We have to remove this, and we have to call printf, and we have to say percent percent d, and plus we have to give a comma, and that should fix the error. And I'll just try and run it. Here different pattern here because we didn't give a line break, because we know in C we have to give \n. You should see that since yesterday because you've been doing that since yesterday, right? So now we have the while or everything in Java and JavaScript. Java and JavaScript and C, but in Python things are a bit different. Okay, we don't have do while loop, I guess, in Python. I don't know. Do while loop in Python. Do we have? Oh wait, this is a console, so I have to. Python doesn't have do while loop. Okay, understood. So Python doesn't have do while loop. We only have while. Oh wait, we don't even have slashes. We have pound sign. We have while and we have for. All right, and it's for work exactly different way. All right, so let's just say we have x1 equals 0. Like before, we'll just say while x1 is greater than 0, 10. I just wanna give a colon like we did in if. We indent some and we just say print. We just say print, I don't know, I am greater. Alright, we can print x1 like this, and that's done. Oh wait, we have to increment x, otherwise we won't have x plus 1. I don't think we have shorthand here. Alright, the plus plus thing we don't have here. I think we do have this. Let's say if this gives us an error. It did not print. Oh wait, our condition is always false, and this one should be x1. Alright, it does work. So exactly the same. I am greater than 10. Wait, is that correct? No, it's not. I'm lesser than 10. I'm lesser than 10. Alright, it does work. Alright, so we don't have while loop. So in Python for loop don't actually works the same way. We have to do something like for y1 in range. You definitely don't need to remember this, because if you don't want to learn Python, right? So what range does is it gives us, actually if we don't give the first thing, if we only pass this, it will give us from 0 to 20, like 0 1 2 3, and that value will be in y1. Okay, does that make sense? Let's just print y1 and see what's happening. Alright, so range gives a value from 0 to 20, actually 19 till 20 to y1. Okay, since we are printing y1, you should understand that. Okay, and if we give the first two values, so let's say I want from 15 to 20. If we don't pass any value, the default is from 0 to 20. Alright, and if we put into two values, the range is from 15 to 19, because one less than 20. Alright, so y1 should be from 15 till 19. Now since our case had 2 incremented, so we can say the step should be 2. Alright, what's the step? So the step is basically the difference between two numbers. Like for default it's 1, I guess it's 1 only, so it should not. This is the default, like it's the default. Default is 1, and if we give 2, the difference between each value should be 2. Like we had, yeah, so 0 2 4 6 8 10 12 14 16 and 18, like we got in our JavaScript and other languages, right? So yeah, that's all about repetition basics in programming. Now the function, why I don't want to tell this, because well, functions are basically code, well, like a bunch of code, fun one, and it should be, print this. Actually we have to say something like this. All right, print this, print that, print those, print this again, print that again. So what the point I'm trying to make is that function is basically if some code are there that are doing similar things, okay, so we can group them and call it as a function. Like some function is checking if the phone number is correct or not, or the syntax, not syntax, actually the format of phone number is correct or not. Like it's starting from plus, then it's having 9 1, I guess in India we have 9 1, so 9 1 at the starting, then we have a space, or then we have 10 digits or not, like that. If something is similar, then we can just define a function like def uh, check phone number, and then we can actually pass something like number, and we can say that I don't want to check this, I don't want to write. Actually let's just say if num dot len, actually not like this, len num is greater than equal 10, return true. All right, else return false. All right, so wait, we don't have num, we have number, so we'll change that to num, and now we have it. Now only defining the function won't make it run. Let's say, I mean, let me give you an example. Like print is a function, and it doesn't do anything until and unless we call that, right? And we call that with a you know parameter, right? We give this to print it. Same way, this function does not take any parameter, so we can simply say, actually let me show you by running this and show you that it in fact doesn't do anything, right? So we can here say fun1 and run this by by double uh, double what single double I don't know, a parenthesis, right? So it prints this, print that, print those, print this again, print that again. Okay, now for check phone number, phone phone number, we need to pass a string actually, because it will check the length of the you know actually we can just say stir. We are that's just saying that we want to convert num to stir, then check the length, and we can now simply pass 89856. So why it's not undefined name, check phone number, it's the correct, right? It's not, I don't know, let's just try and running. Let's see the error message. Mean that pie check phone number is not defined. What the hell? Oh, it's indented. I'm sorry, it's indented. Oh wait, it's indented. So yeah, so blocks in Python plays a major role, as you saw here. So yeah, so if you saw that, it doesn't return anything, right? So I mean, it doesn't print anything because we didn't say it to print it. So we have to is phone number. We can save this to that, and whatever the value is returned by this, we can simply grab this. So right, so we can print out here is phone number. Alright, so we just print out if it's true or false, and it's true. Now if it's true, we can simply say that if and other logic, like we can add chain up to. That's how we write program, right? So yeah, that's the function, and I showed you actually every type of function with just these two functions. One, the function, very simple function, it won't return anything, it will do something, and it won't take any parameter. This is the simplest type. Now next function, it will take a parameter and it can do something and won't return anything. And the next type of function, that it won't take anything but it will return something, and that I don't think generally happens. But next type, it will take a parameter and based on that parameter it will return something. Okay, so that's all type of parameter you can have, function you can have. Actually we can have multiple parameters separated by comma as well. All right, so yeah, and we can use that parameters inside this function. That's how the function works. All right, and like that we can do everything. The way of defining function differs in different languages. Like in JavaScript, we define functions like this. We can say fun1, and obviously we can give some parameter to this. All right, so we can say console.log, and we can simply say, I don't know, yan. It was yan or yum. Yeah, we can simply say that. All right, I don't know why is that helpful. We have to call it. That's the concept is same every time. Okay, it's just open quotes op. बाप रे, ये कहाँ सीखी तुम? Hello. All right, that's, I don't know, that's not very helpful. But yeah, that's how the function works in JavaScript. And the return keywords is universal. We have return. All right, we have return. All right, everywhere. And this is like calling break inside the loop. The break statement, the break statement, right? It will break the loop, right? Since it's in the condition, it break the loop in one only. And if you take notice, if you notice, after return, since we have return before this, it didn't even print hello. So return is like break statement for function. All right, you want to break it, you just type return and return anything. All right, you don't need to get that return. In Java, actually we have to declare function outside the main, because main itself is a function. All right, actually we can define function here as well, but there is something, public static int, and let's say fun1, and let's just say int 2, and that's how we define a function in Java. All right, and wait, int 2, not int num. All right, and we can say must return a value, right? So if we don't want it to return any value, we can just simply say void, like main. It doesn't return any value, so it says void basically means nothing. All right, so you can say here, and we can say return num into, I guess, 3. All right, so multiply multiply by 3. I don't know why someone would do that, but yeah, that's how we are doing. So we can simply say multiply by 3, and we can give the name 3. And since this is returning int, we are not printing any value, so we have to um, collect that value in a variable. Like here, I don't know, I'm not getting a variable name, good variable name. We'll just call a num2. Alright, and please note that if even if I say num here, this num and this num is different. Alright, I can simply say system dot out dot print ln. I can say num, and that should work. It should work. Yeah, 9. So 3 into 3 is 9, and that's how Java functions work. Alright, in C as well, we can define functions here like this. We don't have to write public static and those long, but we can simply say int fun1. Let's just try void so that we don't have to return anything. So fun1, and I just wanna take an integer yun like in JavaScript, and I wanna return actually I can't return since it's void, so I'll just print f. This is yun. I don't know what's that, so I'll just print yun, and we have to call it, because if we won't call it, it won't run. So, and I'll just call it with, I don't know, 69. Alright, this is yun 69. Alright, I'll give a backslash n. Alright, that's function in Java. C, my bad. C and C++, both work. Alright, both are same. Alright, we can even use printf in C++. You should know that. Alright. So yeah, that was basic of programming in 5 different languages if you include C++ as well. Alright, but we need to discuss something very important, which would take 5 minutes, I guess. So what's the difference between them? So I should wait. Strongly typed, weakly typed, statically typed, and dynamically typed languages diagram. I hope I get this. I hope I get this. Yeah, this one. So I want to say that all the language we saw, there were actually very different from each other. Alright, so C to 4 parts. Okay, so dynamic and static, actually we saw that in dynamic languages we don't need to define data types. Alright, we don't need to define data types, and in static type we need to define whether it is integer or not. Alright, so Python and JavaScript both are dynamic, and C++ and C and C and Java are statically typed languages, because in that you have to define data types, as we saw from the beginning of strong and weak, and C and JavaScript comes under strong and weak. Alright, now why I say that, I mean under weak, right? JavaScript and C are weak languages, weakly typed languages actually, not weak language. And why I say that, I say that because I'll just show you. Wow, weak languages. That's because they load. They keep on loading. Come on. Come on, man. Mm-hmm. No, no, no. I'll just refresh them. Yeah, I am sure. I'll just refresh them. I'm sure I'll refresh them. I hope my net is working fine. I hope my net is working fine. Yep, it is working fine. It is. It is. Oh, come on. Yeah. So, why it's weakly typed language? Because it converts, you know, the type of data implicitly. All right. Actually, I could show you this easily in my terminal. All right. I just need to get something big. Yeah. And I can just type node. All right. And I can show you that if 2 plus 2 gives us 4, I can even do like this. 2 plus 2, this is string, and this should not be added to this because right. So what this does, what JavaScript does, it converts this to string. Like, it does some magic, like, oh, I know, you won't be too stupid to add two number and a string. You can't be that stupid, so I'll just convert the number to the string and add that. All right. So yeah, it concatenates it. Okay, two strings. Like, if you want to add two strings, I'll just actually hello, and then I can add this. All right, so that's concatenating, right? I cannot add two strings, right? So it automatically converts that, and now I cannot subtract two strings, or I cannot even subtract from string to number. So what it does, it converts string to number and then subtracts it. Wow. And that's weakly typed language, and that's what Java and Python cannot do, right? So I actually didn't need to refresh this. I showed you why. JavaScript and C, and this is done in C as well. Okay, this is done in C as well. I can show you if you want. I can just say that weakly typed example. I don't know if it will. I guess I'll just print f %d, and I will just say that I guess 3 plus, I don't think if it will see. Let's see what it gives. It gives us 102. Can you tell me why it gives 102? Because the ASCII value of C, let's see, the ASCII value of C is 99, I guess. Yeah, small c, right? And for capital C, I guess minus 26. Yeah. So yeah, 67. So it converts to integer with ASCII value of it, and it adds to 3. All right, and it gives 70, and that's what Java and Python won't let us do. We can see that we can actually do something like, because it's faster, I'm used to using terminal. I'll just make it big, and I can add 2 plus 2. It works fine, but the moment I want to try 2 plus 2, it will give us an error that we cannot use plus for int and stir, which JavaScript didn't give us, and that's strongly typed language. And the same way happens in Java as well. And we have saw that when we were trying to, you know, see this, we had to write true because one was not implicitly converted to true as in other languages. Actually, I didn't try in uh, Python, but there also it should not happen, right? And that code, Java did code. Oh, okay, anything. All right, so that's why Java is a strongly typed language. And in this tutorial, I showed you one static weakly typed language, strong static type language, dynamically weak type language, and strong dynamically typed language. So all of the languages were of different types. So you saw each one of them, and I hope you get that you know feeling that the programming in all of the different languages, the concept, the basic concept of programming is similar, same in all of them, right? So yeah, I guess that's it for this video, and I guess we'll be making some fun Python projects tomorrow because I'm working on something and I'll be happy to show you that. So yeah, I'll just end the stream right now and hope you be safe and take care. Bye bye.